Hello everybody, my name's Catherine and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book review for you. In case you're wondering why I'm outside or where I am, we're currently staying at Centre Parks in Woburn and my daughter is making so much noise inside that it's impossible to film anything indoors, so we thought we'd come on a little walk, see some nature and film this video. And so the book that I'm going to be reviewing today, please bear with me, because I don't have my book on me right now, I'm currently looking at my phone and going off there, but I have already written this review. I'm literally just going through it. So today I'm going to be reviewing How to Be Happy by Eva Woods. It was published in 2017. It came highly recommended to me, so I thought, do you know what, I need a new book to read. Here we go, I'll read it. So it was written by Eva Woods. Now Eva Woods is also known as Claire McGowan. Now she writes as Claire McGowan for crime fiction, which is her real name. But then she also writes under Eva Woods for women's contemporary fiction, and she was born in Northern Ireland and currently lives in London in the UK. So I will link her things down below, you know, like her Twitter, her Instagram and her website down below. So how easy did I find this book to read? Super easy. I could put it down, pick it up again. Would I read it again? Absolutely. And do I recommend it? Yes. So let me just give you a little quick through of the blurb, because I know that's a bit that attracts most people to books. Some people don't read them, some people do. So let me just quickly tell you about it. So the blurb is, the smallest things can make the biggest difference. Annie has been sad for so long that she's forgotten how to be any other way until she meets Polly. Polly is everything that Annie is not. She's colourful, joyful and happy. Because if recent events have taught Polly anything, it's that your time is too short to waste a single day. Polly has 100 days to help Annie find happiness. Annie's convinced it's impossible, but so is saying no to Polly. And on an unforgettable journey, Annie begins to realise that maybe, just maybe, there's still colour to be found in this world. But then it becomes clear that Polly's about to need her new friend more than ever, and Annie will have to decide once for all whether letting others in is worth taking the risk. So your two main characters, as it says in the blurb, are called Annie and Polly, and it is loosely based on the 100 Days of Happiness challenge that was popular a couple of years ago. So Annie is probably, for me, the most relatable character. She's miserable, she doesn't let other people in, she's become so used to a rut that she's in that she doesn't know any different. She goes to work, comes home, goes to bed, goes to work, comes home, goes to bed. That's all her life is. Now, Polly is a lady who has a terminal brain cancer and she's trying to make the most of her last 100 days. She doesn't know that she has 100 days left, but that's her aim. Her aim is to make it through 100 days of happiness. Now, I bought this book off Amazon. It was £6 something. I got free postage because I have Amazon Prime, and it came, you know, next day delivery. Didn't have to worry about any of that. I bought the paperback version. Now I do have a Kindle. Don't know where it's gone. Can't buy books on my Kindle. So the customer reviews on Amazon are 4.6 out of 5 stars, which is quite good, especially for a book. Now this is such an easy read. So because it's based on the 100 Days of Happiness challenge, there are 100 chapters. Now some of these chapters are a couple of paragraphs long and some of them are a couple of pages long. Now for me, I felt that this is really easy, just to say, oh, I'm just going to read to this chapter, put my bookmark in and put the book down. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to binge read, you know, being a mother, being a student, having to go to work. So I quite like the idea of being able to put a book down and pick it back up and know exactly where I am and not having to read back a couple of pages. And that's what this book is. You put it down, pick it up, and you know exactly where you are. You know what's happened so far. You don't need any further reminders. Now, it starts off with Annie getting very frustrated. Her mum's in hospital with dementia and she's trying to get things changed and she's struggling to get the changes made that she needs. And this is where Polly steps in. And Polly is able to, because she's been in the hospital so much, she becomes, you know, she's essentially friendly with everybody and she's able to help Annie make these changes. Now during their initial meeting is where she realises, like where Polly realises that actually Annie is somebody who is miserable, stuck in a rut and somebody she can help. So ultimately she makes it her mission and almost sets it out to be a task to see whether or not it's possible to take somebody who's miserable and make them happy. Now Annie has a lot of past trauma, which I won't go into because I want you to read about that, which is why it's so hard for her to open up and why it's so hard for her to let people in. But because of Polly's personality, you know, she's bubbly, she's happy, she's colourful, and she's determined, and because of this Annie finds it difficult to say no, and ultimately they have a beautiful friendship that blossoms. Now this book is one of those that will make you really happy. There are so many points in the book where I just laugh and I'm like, do you know what, I can relate to Annie so much, this is me, this is who I am. But then there's also quite a few bits in the book where you have to get a tissue because it's just so emotive that you have no, you know, you feel yourself welling up basically. So it's so easy to get engrossed in this book because there are bits of it you want to keep reading, you want to know how it ends, you want to know exactly what happened. Now for me, I find that some books are really difficult to get into, like I really struggle with quite a lot of books, but this is one of the books that I found so easy to pick up. Once I started reading, I had to reluctantly put it down to carry on with the rest of my daily tasks. If I had the opportunity, I probably would have binge read it. And you know, for me it's so easy to connect with the characters. They're modern characters, you can relate with them. You know, this isn't the style of book that I personally would normally read. You know, I like my crime thrillers, I quite like my suspense books, but actually this is something completely different. And do you know what, I really enjoyed it. You know, I would thoroughly recommend this book to anybody. Essentially the key theme of the book is, you know, life is too short to be wasting it being miserable. It's too short to be wasting it worrying about your clothing, worrying about the latest fashion trend, and actually worry about the things that matter, worry about the friendships that you've had, worried about things that have gone wrong, you know, old friendships, making amends with people and doing things outside of your comfort zone. And that's something that I really loved about this book. Now to me, this book has made me want to go and actually do the 100 days challenge myself, because I relate to Annie so much. You know, I have my daily routine, I have my daily rut, and I need just something else. So from this book, I'm actually now going to go and do things I wouldn't normally do, take myself out of my comfort zone, and, you know, make myself the most important person, and worry about those, you know, worry about my family as well, and put my family first, do more with my family. It's more about making those memories than it is about worrying about my child has the latest toy that's on trend or the latest clothing. And that's essentially what the book is about. It's about making the most of the time that you've got, because life is so short and you never know when it's going to come to an end. So would I read this book again? Yes. Do I recommend this book? Yes. I've literally been telling all my friends, family members, you know, this book is amazing, read this book. Am I looking forward to reading more of Ava's books? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've ordered some more already. So those book reviews will be coming shortly. I just have to quickly throw in at the end, if this video is a little bit awkward at all, it's because of my first ever video that I filmed. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you join me again for some more book reviews. Alright, bye!